guess we'll start the news today, the new signing. You bring in a midfielder, another Teddy player. What's the expectation, maybe his timeline for joining the team, and what does he bring to the group when he gets here?
His timeline is the club is working diligent with the embassy. He's trying to get his visa, and that's what we know for right now. He's another player that is a good body for us to have, good, tidy on the ball, defensively sound. So we're very happy with the signing of Jean, and we're looking forward to have him with us, because I think he can help the group now and also in the future.
Another young player, like you say, right, in the future, he kind of fits your ethos of players in that sense, where it's developed, but also someone who can contribute now.
No, absolutely. Listen, my ethos has always been very simple. If you have a quality player, old or young, it doesn't matter to us. It's about does he fit what we're trying to build here, character-wise? Does he fit with the style of play that we want to implement here? That's the most important thing. Age doesn't matter to me, but obviously everybody know that I love to develop young players. That's not it. But I am also open just to have quality players.
I guess within the game on Saturday, we talked a lot about it after,
yeah.
having let it digest, understanding the decisions that were made, the mistakes that may have been made in the game. What do you take away after having it watched back?
Nah, for me it was the same as I told you. It's like, listen, you are up 3-0, you get a red card. That's a critical moment that changed the game. Obviously, two other mistakes happened, which is, if you look at our games against El Paso, there's nobody can say it's been boring. Right? If you look at the first game, you down 4-1. Right? You just look at the first game, you're down 4-1. You come back 4-4. You have even an opportunity to win it 5-4 with the last chance of Remy. You go into the Jägermeister Cup again, you're up, they come back again, and you tied it up and you win on penalty. And now you go up 3-0, and if you don't get the red card, I believe it's you finish the game differently. But for our games against El Paso, it's not meant to be boring. But again, I think we're playing well, and for me, that's the most important thing. You're more disappointed for the boys because they deserve more. But again, that is football sometimes. It's cruel. But the lesson that we take from it is we have a game on Friday, and now we're looking for a response.
How different is the feeling after the 3-3 versus the Detroit game, way earlier back in the season?
Yeah, but the Detroit game is way different game, right? Because you are in the beginning of the season. You're trying to get points. Because you felt, will that help confidence-wise and all of that stuff. But then again, that is football. So for me, it's the progression that you see that we've done. For some people, may not be seems like, oh, they're not making progress because they're tied again, but they haven't seen how much of huge progress every individual in our team has made. And for me, that says more. And again, obviously, everybody will look at the results, because that's the most important thing in football. Let it be known, right? I know it. Everybody know it. But the critical part was the red card, right? If that doesn't happen, I think we win the game 3-0, or maybe even more. So it was not meant to be. So what do we have to do, right? We cannot focus on what happened on Saturday, because we can't change that now. But we can definitely try to change what is going to happen on Friday, which is bring a great response, bring a great energy, and make sure that the 3 points stays here.
Taking a look at Friday again, wrapping up a 3-match homestand, what will it take for this group to try to go unbeaten in that stretch and put their best foot on the field in front of their home fans?
It's always been on the front foot. It's always coming out strong. Playing our football and doing the right things, doing the basics right. Because once you do the basics right, I think the chance of winning it's bigger. So, and we've done it for 2 games. And I'm looking for us to continue doing that. And I'm looking for us again, like I said, to respond and keep the 3 points here.
How important is this back stretch of the season where you have so many matches at home and trying to capitalize on that?
Every game is important. Every game is important, but obviously it do help that you have games at home where boys don't need to travel a lot. They're at home, so that does help. But again, every game has its own story, so it's ours to continue to write the story that we want from those games, and those stories are 3 points starting as Friday.
Going forward, as the season continues on and the playoffs approach, what do you think the key will be to finding a balance between hopefully shoring things up defensively a little bit while maintaining the same level of offensive output? And how do you figure Rafa will fit into that as he gets his way up to full fitness?
Well, obviously Rafa bring ton of wealth, experience, playing wise, guidance, somebody that have been in tough moments, which I think our players will benefit from. It's the collective. When we all collectively do what we need to do, I think we will shun off the defensive side, as we haven't had much success with it, but we have success also scoring goals. So I think it's something that when the playoff is approaching, that steady and Eddie, that we will be able to do that job. But the only focus that we have right now is Vegas on Friday.
When you do look at Vegas on Friday, ASL with the red card, Carl off to international duty, and Rafa having just gotten here, has not played. You talked about that a lot with Kelvin in terms of he's still in that preseason shape. Maybe Rafa's in a similar situation. Where do you expect Rafa to be at fitness-wise? Maybe having to go a lot on.
No, Rafa is a professional. He will know how to handle himself, and next to him he will have also we have Pop. So for me, it's not the worry. For me, it's always the next man up mentality. You know, we cannot dwell on things that happen. You know, we have to have the next man up mentality. And if you look at our season, it's always been that, right? With the tons of injury that has happened, with the things that have happened. So for us, it's just always the next man up mentality.
And then outside of that, we know about Mo, but J-Mo, Damien, Colin, some of their ability.
Yeah, they're progressing well. Unfortunately, Mo, it was a season ending, but he is trending the right direction, which is good for him. J-Mo also is trending the right direction. Colin is trending the right direction. Damien also a little bit of a struggle, so we will see what is going to happen with him. But other than that, I mean, health-wise, we're good, and now it's just to keep it.
And then in Damien's place on Friday, you get Darius, and Darius gives you whatever the hell that goal was, wherever he finds that. And what do you know that there's a player there that has that ability to just run through 5 or 6 players towards goal in him there? Like, do we know?
No, he has it. For me, DJ has it. DJ has that quality, and for us, it's more. Also, like I said, like we believe he can be a huge piece to this club, not only on the field but off the field. But on the field, I think he has some dynamics in his game that is just above this level. So for him, it's more about also believing in himself more and know that he's capable of doing that. Was I shocked that he did it? No. Do I know he can has it? Yes. And now can he do it more and more? And when he does it more and more, that it will not become a surprise.
Taking a look at Remy, you mentioned Saturday night that he had a knock, which is why he didn't start that match. What does his fitness look like?
Oh, his fitness is getting better and better. Obviously, he had a layout of 2 months. So, but I'm very happy where he is, because you can see what he gives us when he started, as he did against Colorado, playing part in two goals. And so we're very happy to see him progress, and he's progressing in the direction that we want him to be. So I'm very happy with him.
For Las Vegas, first game against them with Devin in charge, their changes, they've been a little bit better defensively the last couple of weeks. What have you noticed about them?
I can't give you what they're doing because I'm going to use it, but at least you always know with a new head coach that he's going to focus on areas that he's seen that it was not working in the past. So I expect a game from them, obviously. So for me, I'm curious to see how they look like with a new head coach.
And then I know you want to focus on Friday. You've talked a lot over the last couple of weeks about legacy and things like that. We just spoke to Rafa. Rafa talked about how he's going to be a part of this group next year. You bring in a player again on loan today that you would assume would be a part of this group hopefully next year. Rafa said he hopes that a lot of the core of this group stay together. When you look at Phoenix Rising maybe next year and the team that you've built this year, headed into next season and starting to formulate maybe, hey, this is a group that we can have a lot of carryover for, because the club hasn't seen a lot of that the last couple of years.
No, obviously, listen, stability is very important in football, and especially in our game when you're trying to build the stability and the foundation is always with the piece that you work with, that understand now what our culture look like, how we want to build our culture. So it's always very important that you have that foundation, because that's the base of it. You look at many of the teams around the world, why they have this capability of winning is because their foundation and their base and their core players have been together, but also we do understand in American sports, year after year, there's quite of a turnovers, right? It's just the nature of the sports and nature of the business. But for us, obviously, working with Bobby and Brandon, we know, like I said, we have our alignment and we know like the direction that we're going. And obviously, we don't want to have a lot of turnovers when it comes to majority of the squad, which I don't think will happen, you know. But with this group that we're building now is also to build up for next year, obviously. So.